So there's one thing I probably should have realized that I could have done with all of my videos, you know, like 1 through like 350, I think. I don't really understand why I didn't process this, but that is a camera. And you know what cameras have? Cameras have lenses, and you can clean off lenses and things look better. Who'da thunk? You know, I actually kind of look a little bit crisper today because of that, so I gotta remember to do that. You know, nobody's really mentioned it, but when things look this good, I've kind of established a new standard for myself. I don't know. Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome to Monday's upload. I actually have a game for you. It is a Monotype match against TonyFlygon. I have not done a Monotype in a while, and I would like to bring you guys more Monotypes, so I'll probably be taking a little bit more of those at streams and whatnot, in case you're not familiar with what that is. I will talk to you about it as we play it back right now. Okay, now what a monotype is you mentally pick a type and you don't tell your opponent about it, and you're like, I'm going to pick all pokes of that type. You know, they don't have to be exclusively that type. As you can see, a lot of the things on my team are dual type, and I believe he does have, like, what, 2 things that are only of the same type, but in case you weren't informed, he picked Ghost, I picked Poison. Based on stabs, you know, he does have the advantage because he does resist my stab, but I do have a couple of things on his team that can definitely give him a little bit of trouble, so we'll just go ahead and see how it goes. But for now, he's going to go ahead and lead off with Gengar. I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Drapion. Now, as tempted as I am to set up the Toxic Spikes, big threat right here. I either want to phase it out or take it out. I'm thinking I'm going to want to take it out. So in case he, you know, has taunt for whatever reason on this Gengar, I have seen it before, it's not that unusual, but I'm going to go for the offensive move right on the bat. Or right off the bat. Right on the bat. Who says that? It's right off the bat. That's how that works. But Crunch takes him out. I don't know if that's with the help of a little bit of Life Orb damage, but I take that hit pretty well because I'm max HP, max spec D, and then Cofagrigus comes in. It's going to be slower than me. I don't really have to fear anything it does, I suppose. Just going to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes, and that's how it works. I know Cofagrigus can rest, Spiritomb can rest. I'm not sure either of these actually do end up resting, but, you know, just whatever poison I can get on the field is fine. It doesn't matter. And it's not like I'm really going to abuse Venoshock or anything like that. I can't because, you know, he resists it and just all this other shit. And Wickeroma, you know, she's kind of immune to it, so that doesn't really work out too well. But he's going to go for the T-Bolt as opposed to the Shadow Ball because resistance and whatnot. Still does a really good chunk of damage, you know, for the maximum special defense investment that I do have going on. But I'm going to go ahead and Whirlwind out as long as I can while I'm still alive. Turns out I just Whirlwind him back into Cofagrigus. Not really the best thing to Whirlwind into. I was kind of looking for something like Golurk or something like that just to be able to take those out. I think the only thing on this team that happens to be immune to the Toxic Spikes are Gengar, which I already took out, and I believe Mismagius. Everything else is susceptible to poison, and it'll work out great. So, just going to go for the crunches to get a little bit of damage off. You know, a little bit of damage is better than no damage. I don't want a Whirlwind right there on the off chance he's just going to end up taking me out. Which, as you can see, he does. I only have 20 HP. So, it was probably better just to go for the crunch in that scenario. Even though what I do have next is probably just going to bend over his entire team and then just screw it up the butt. So, what I have next is a Gengar. This is a Gengar set that somebody from the live stream gave me, I think, probably a couple weeks before this. But this has dual stab that abuse Toxic Spikes. It's got Hex, which is a ghost move. I believe the base power doubles, at the very least increases if you're hitting something that has a status condition, in which case, you know, Poison counts as status condition, anybody? On the Spiritomb, which actually has Rest, as we'll see later, Sleep also counts as a status condition. I'll be able to hit it harder regardless. And then it also has Venoshock, which I'm not really going to be able to abuse as much in this scenario, but Venoshock is also boosted if the opponent's poisoned. So since, you know, poison is poison, and then poison falls into the status condition category, it benefits, you know, from both of those, and then it benefits from being stabbed. I figured I'd plug on, you know, Substitute, and then if Steels want to come in, I got Focus Blast. Or if, you know, Poisons want to come in, I was thinking Psychic, but that's kind of retarded, so I figured, you know, Steel's a more likely option. We'll just put Focus Blast, and that usually rounds off a Gengar set. Why not? It's good stuff. So, as you can kind of see, we just got this little Spiritomb thing going on. I don't want it to get too many Calm Minds up, otherwise it can and will stall me out of hexes, you know, with Rest and then just ability Pressure. I never thought Pressure would actually come into play here, but I only have a couple of hexes, and I need to use them carefully. So, I go for the sub here, either predicting his Calm Mind or his Rest. He does go for the Rest to be able to live the next hex, and then, you know, not die from poison damage, since at that rate it kind of looked like that's what would have ended up happening. But I'm going to go for another Hex, since he only has the one Calm Mind up. As you can see, it's looking like a 3-hit KO to me, you know, barring extreme variations on the minimum side. It looks like we'll be able to take it down in 3 shots. So he's got a couple of shots just to, I think, beyond this move. If he doesn't get a Calm Mind on this one, this Spiritomb's done. So he gets rest here. This is kind of a pivotal point in the match because I need him to not get Calm Mind. And if he does, then I don't know what to do about it. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with. But since, you know, rest talking is going to be asleep, and then he's going to sleep talk, and then he doesn't pull the Calm Mind, he ends up pulling the Dark Pulse. So, don't have my sub, but he doesn't have the race special defense, and it's because of that Hex is going to get boosted by the sleep, and I end up taking him out. So, we're in a good boat. And then, you know, kind of in his defense, I suppose, no one uses this set. Like ever. No one. I haven't seen anybody use this set. It was very much news to me. Like, there are people that use shit like Sub Punch Palkia and like Hone Claw's Dynamic Punch Weavile, and just like there are different sets that are a little bit more unconventional, but they actually work out kind of like this one, and I really enjoy shit like that. It's not too, you know, out of the blue, but if you just find a niche for it, it kind of works out. So, kind of like I have right here. It's giving Tony a hard time. But right now, I'm unsure as to whether or not just a stock Hex is going to be able to take it out because I'm lefties as opposed to Life Orb. Hex is not boosted. It's only base 55 or 60 power. I think I had this conversation with the stream, and I believe it's 55 without any boost. So that's not really going to work out too well. But I figure I'm just going to leave in Crobat, start going for Brave Words, get some damage off, you know, taunt. I'm going to taunt this Jellicent, that's for sure, you know, to prevent, I would have taunted the Mismagius to either prevent Sub or Nasty Plot, and I can taunt this to prevent Will-O-Wisp and Recover. So, that's what I'm going to do. As you can see, you know, everything's poisoned, everything's just going to be in my favor once I'm able to get Gengar in. But that's not really going to be too much fun, and then on top of that, I'm still really scared of Wicca-Wilma being able to come in after I take something out, being able to live a Hex as well, and then just end up taking me out because I'm a timid Gengar and I don't really have any attack boost other than just the investment, and he probably will be able to revenge kill me. So what I can do right now, as you can see, it's still Crobat versus Jellicent, very much so. Just going to go for Brave Words, and then just try to leave him at a low range of HP. We're kind of at 69 right now. I can see people laughing about it. Shut up. It's funny. It was funny like the first 2 times. That's about it. That's about it. Anyways, takes out the Crobat. I do have a couple of things left. And my plan for Wicca-Wilma at this point, her being the biggest threat, but not by a terrible amount, I definitely could have gone into Nidoking after something died against Jellicent. Other than this, or you know, after I believe Wicca-Wilma killed off something off, I believe my Nidoking is Scarf anyway. But I do have a sub SD Tentacruel, which I do not get to use that often. I love this thing, let me tell you guys. I love the coverage. There are plenty of things that do well, though, Toxicroak being a big one, Polion being another one, I believe Ferrothorn's up there. There's quite a couple things you need to take out of the way. This thing included, but a thing I don't know at this point is that he's Cursed Body and he's not Water Absorbed, and this is actually going to come into play in like the next couple turns. But I'm going for Poison Jab, just running off the assumption that he's got Water Absorb. They're both very good abilities, you know, that you can run. I would personally be running Water Absorb, but Cursed Body does have its uses, you know, to switch in on Choice Pokes and then being able to recover on the switch as they're disabled, so that kind of works out. For now, you know, I'm just going to go for Swords Dance behind the sub. I believe we either saw Taunt or we see it right now. Okay, so there's a Taunt. As you can see, I only got 2 Sword Dances up. I could get a third after the Taunts wear out, but for now, all I can really do is just go for the attacking moves and then just, you know, see how much they do, see what kind of Jellicent he is, and that's, you know, how we'll play out this portion of the game, I suppose. But go for the Poison Jab. It is resisted, you know, him either being completely immune to the Waterfall or him resisting the Poison Jab. As you can see, because he has Cursed Body, he does not have Water Absorb, meaning I can actually go for my stronger Waterfall and then actually have flinch odds as well. So I'm at +4. I got Waterfall. I believe this is an Adamant Tentacruel, max attack and max speed. People kind of underestimate how fast Tentacruel naturally is. And when you put a lot of speed investment into it, it works out really fucking well. It's base 100, and not a lot of people remember that because they always see the special defensive set, you know, with the Rapid Spinning and the Toxic Spikes and the Scald or you know, the Surf, whatever have you. Just the defensive set. An offensive set is kind of rare. The only other one I've kind of seen like it is probably like a Life Orb special set. So, you know, just the fact that this is Adamant alone, it just kind of outspeeds a lot of things naturally. It's pretty cool. Major thing being that it does outspeed Jellicent, you know, regardless of investment. And, you know, I was actually able to get the flinch a couple turns ago, I believe, and then that just kind of shortened the process. But against Wicca-Wilma, cool thing is I still have my sub, so I'm not in danger of taking a T-Bolt, and I'll just be able to take it out with a +4 or 6 Waterfall. I wasn't really paying attention. Plus enough is all I know. I mean, a max attack, as I mentioned, it's good to go. and I'm no longer disabled, so I could go for Poison Jab if I really wanted to. Test my luck against something with a quad resistance. I'm not going to test that. You know, I'm faster than Golurk. I believe this is his last poke as well, so I'm just going to smash this thing and its keyboard mashed name right in the face for the game. So, that was a pretty fun game, Tony. I had a lot of fun with it. We will definitely have to monotype in the future, picking, you know, completely different types. But that's what I got for you guys, you know, in terms of monotypes, and then just for today's game. So if you enjoyed them, you're welcome, or not if you enjoyed them, if you enjoyed it, you are welcome to leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And that should do it out of me. I got TCGO coming up tomorrow. TCGO is a little bit glitchy yesterday, so I wasn't able to record as much as I wanted to. I have a poll up on my Facebook. You guys can vote on what deck I decide to use on Thursday. I have the links to my social media in the description in case I haven't really talked about it. They're in like the links of every video in case, you know, you guys don't end up reading the description for whatever reason. You're like, hey, you know, how do I catch you on a different site? You know, I got my Facebook, I got my Twitter, I got my Tumblr, and they're all in the description below, or like in the old days, like in like 2008, 2009, they would be on the right, but that's not how it works anymore. Oh, YouTube, you kind of suck now. Anyways, not you guys though. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time.